I've defended people as a defense lawyer. I've locked people up as a judge. I'm still a judge. And one of the rewards is seeing that you actually changed somebody. It's about being real. It's about taking care of your own business.
Real cases, a passion for justice. Judge Joe Brown.
In the courtroom today, Nature's Calling sets off a war between female roommates.
Lisa Gonsalves is a 35-year-old office manager from Middleton, Wisconsin. She is suing her former roommate, 39-year-old daycare provider Lori Von Baron, for the return of personal property. Lori is countersuing for unpaid rent, bills, stolen items, and defamation of character. Now here's Judge Joe Brown.
Two roommates couldn't make it. See, you say you had to move out due to physical abuse, and you accuse the defendant of keeping a number of your personal items. What's this all about, ladies? How long had you two known each other?
I've known Lori for about 3 years. I met her through a couple of other friends a number of years ago.
Okay, so you moved in together.
I moved in the end of the first week in August of 2002. On the night of September 12, 2002, I had went out to dinner with my friend Tim and my boyfriend David and another friend of ours, Molly. Lori had offered to babysit my 5-year-old daughter. When I came home, I had to use the bathroom. I walked in my front door, and my 5-year-old was sitting at the front door surrounded by a pile of toys, crying frantically, just tears. And Lori did not hear me come in. I picked my daughter up. She came around the corner screaming and yelling at my daughter and didn't see me standing there. And I tucked my in, went upstairs and attempted to talk to Lori and find out what had happened and why my daughter was awake. Timothy then came in, and for lack of a better term, all hell broke loose. Lori does not like Tim. She literally lost it, screaming, yelling, arms flailing.
She says in her answer that he was drunk.
We all had been drinking. Molly was our designated driver. It was Tim's birthday. We did go out for dinner and cocktails. I'm not going to dismiss that at all. It was true.
So what happened?
She was screaming and yelling in my face, get him the F out of my house. You know, you had no effing right to bring him in. I mean, screaming. So the argument ensued. My boyfriend Dave had come to me and said, you know what, let's just get a night's worth of things. We'll go to my house, avoid all this confrontation. We've been drinking. She's argumentative. Let's not do this. I had a dresser drawer sitting open, unpacking some things to put in a bag. And Lori came at me. She put her arms up and she body blocked me. I hit the dresser drawer with the back of my leg and wound up with a bruise about the size of a grapefruit on the back of my thigh. Did not know it at the time, just packed my things, ignored her. I didn't want any more confrontation. Dave and I left.
And the next day, let's see, you went over there to get your stuff. What'd you take, U-Haul from what you're saying?
Actually, I wasn't allowed in the home. She had the house chain locked from the inside. My daughter and I had to live for 4 days on 2 days' worth of clothing. I went there on the 16th. I had a U-Haul, and I had a few friends. I had 1 hour to get everything out.
So what is your complaint?
My complaint is the minute we walked into the only room that I had, my computer was missing, my stereo was missing, my CDs were missing. I realized everything of value I had was missing.
Okay, let's go to the defendant. How do you say in response to this?
My response is that her story she just told is totally false. There had already been problems in the previous weeks because she owed me for a month and a half of rent already, which she hadn't paid. I talked to her. She said, you know, I'm looking. I promise you I'm going to pay you this money. I knew she couldn't hold a job down.
Why?
Because I'd seen her go through. 2, I saw a letter she wrote to unemployment lying about why she should get unemployment, claiming that her niece committed suicide, so she couldn't go to work because of that. And I talked to her sister. Her niece is alive and kicking, you know. The problem was is when Lisa arrived home, I didn't even hear Lisa come in. I heard people talking.
And you went down to see what it was about?
And then I got up and I walked down the hallway and Tim walked out of the bathroom.
Kind of shocking at that time of night?
Yeah.
You don't like him, do you?
No.
Why?
Because 2 weeks previous to this, Lisa had shown me a whole bunch of bruises on her legs and said she had tried to enter her boyfriend's apartment because he was doing cocaine on his table, and Tim would not let her in and pushed her all over the place trying to keep her out of his apartment. And I said, I don't want that man near my house and my children. This was a school night, 2:30 in the morning. They've been out since 8 p.m. till 2:30 in the morning drinking. They were drunk when they got there. Here's a police report showing exactly what happened. And if I
see that. Your
abused...
police came that evening?
Yes. And Tim got a disturbing the peace ticket. And if I was so disruptive, why didn't she tell the police while they were there?
Okay. You didn't tell me about the police coming.
Your Honor,
Well, I want to see about this. This may have some bearing on the condition of your two parties that were with you. Foxford was very intoxicated. I asked Foxford what had happened. He said that they'd been drinking and came home and found a child sitting inside the house near the front door and was upset. Lisa said she got upset because her daughter was upset, and that triggered Foxford into being very belligerent towards Lori, who had woken up at this point. Lori and Lisa both asked Foxford to leave, and he did not. This caused a confrontation in the house, which caused Lori Van Buren to call the police. She called the police. During the interview, I was continuously interrupted by Foxford. He was ordered to leave at least 6 to 7 times. He was getting very belligerent and demanding my name and badge number. I told him what my badge number was and asked him to leave the scene. He refused, and I ordered him a few more times. He still would not leave. I then informed him I would like his ID card, as I was going to be issuing him a disorderly conduct citation. The situation calmed down dramatically as soon as he left the scene. Both agreed that there was no need for Gonzalez to leave for the night, as the sticking point that evening was Timothy Foxford's behavior. That doesn't sound like there was any fight going on.
it was very, very heated between Dave, myself, and Lori. Very heated.
At your age, why are you running around with a young trainee like that?
Because I like
Is that
him.
why you don't have a job?
No,
a regular JOB?
Your Honor, I was off on medical. I had surgery
What's
a month
your
ago.
medical? On
I
what?
had a right ankle reconstruction.
So what kind of job did you have?
I worked at a real estate closing firm.
So what you got to walk around for?
My orthopedic
She
surgeon
hasn't had a
recommended
job
it.
since she left my home.
Oh, I know that. She's been running around over here with young trainee types.
No, Your Honor, I've been off. Your Honor, I have a police report from Middleton where Lori states that she has my items.
Lady.
I want my things back.
She says she won't return them until you pay her what you owe her.
Well, I don't owe her as much as she says I do, and I also have proof of what I owe her and receipts for what I did
how
pay her.
much do you say you owe her?
I know I owe her for September's rent. I know I do.
How much is that supposed to be?
It would be prorated from $350 a month to the 11th of September, because
Why?
I left on the 12th.
Apparently voluntarily.
Voluntarily, yeah.
I voluntarily left because of constructive eviction.
Well, how did she constructively evict you?
I have a police report on file. It's waiting for
Your
a charging
police
order.
report comes in 5 days after the fact.
Your
So
Honor,
you know
I
what?
didn't know I had a
Probably,
bruise on
I
the
very
behind
seldom
of my body. My boyfriend
and
saw
your
it when I got out of the shower.
boyfriend over here, who is the source of all this mess, with a drunk, boisterous friend that almost got locked up for disturbing the peace.
Judge Joe Brown continues in a moment.
Went in to use the bathroom. I come out and Lori was standing in the kitchen, and she turned around and she was irate. Quote, she said, "Get the f*** out of my house," and was freaking out.
On you for being a model of peace.
And later today,
He went from turning on one of his children to me.
What did he do to you?
He grabbed me by my neck, lifted me off the ground, and pushed me back into the bedroom. My feet never hit the ground.
We're back. Judge Joe Brown, the defendant in this case, says her ex-roommate is missing a few details. She claims the plaintiff and her friends came home drunk at 2:30 in the morning. Let's listen in.
Okay, how much do you say she owes you?
She owes me for the whole month of August rent. That's
How much is that?
$350. She owes me $200 for September because her belongings were at my home until the 16th. When she left, that was a Wednesday night that the police came. She left on her own, drunk, put her 5-year-old daughter in the car and drove away. She owes me $550 in rent. She owes me $76.60
$550.
for I was naive or too nice enough. I signed for a cell phone for her because she had bad credit when she moved in. And then I've got utilities, groceries, which she never bought the whole time she was there.
I fed you, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With what?
I had been getting assistance from the state, and yes, she actually took my card and went to the store
She
and went
never
shopping
got
with
the
it.
assistance.
Yes, she did.
I will
She took the
tell
card.
you one time she gave me the card right before she left.
$190 worth I fed your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you
Yeah,
drank
yeah.
a whole bottle of vodka and steaks while I was
well,
on
you
vacation.
drank the other one, Laura. You should know.
I want to hear from your witness.
David is my witness.
Okay.
I do have a list of some more things that she owes me
Okay,
for.
well, what do you know about all of this?
Lisa went in first. We were talking out in the driveway. Perhaps we might have been a little bit loud. I didn't think we were. And then Tim had gone inside. I was outside yet. I heard commotion going on inside. I walked in, and Lori Von Behrens screaming, yelling.
Screaming, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Screaming and yelling at the top of her lungs. There's
Lies
kids
so much you
sleeping.
believe you
Don't
lies.
interrupt. Stop.
Sorry.
Was she
I was
drunk or something?
She was on 1,500 milligrams of Vicodin.
1,500.
She admitted it. No,
5
she admitted
milligrams.
1,500.
Stop interrupting. All right, now, let's hear from Mr. Timothy over there. You come over here.
Basically, what Dave just said is the truth.
What happened that evening?
We came back, and we came back from the bars. Yeah, it was my birthday, 9/11. We went out, had a couple drinks. Yes, I was drunk. Went in to use the bathroom. I come out, and Lori was standing in the kitchen in a robe. I said, "Hey, Lori, how you doing?" And she turned around, and she was irate. Quote, she said, "Get the out of my house," and was freaking out. I don't know what just came over her. She just freaked out. And from there, it was just downhill. I was like, whoa, I was telling her, I was like, calm down, it's fine, I'm leaving, And then she kept going on and on and on. Right then when she said that, I walked outside. And she comes outside, was on the front porch, yelling and screaming.
At you?
Yes.
And you were being a model of peace?
At first, yes, I was. I had said nothing.
He didn't use the bathroom, Your Honor. That's all he did.
And then I come out and I said, hey, how you doing, Lori? And then that's how she's going to, come at me, yell and scream at me like that. I mean, I didn't do anything to her.
Okay. Thank you. The bottom line is you lived off of this woman's good graces, and you sat there and you tried to bring your just beyond juvenile friends in on this whole thing. She had had enough, and everybody's drunk and disorderly, and your after-the-fact complaint about what she did wrong to you, including giving you a bruise. I don't believe, as far as I think, you can fly up and touch one of those lights on the ceiling. So judgment for the defendant in the indicated amount, $991.60, and the court calls.
Thank you.
Court is in recess.
You're welcome.
Your thoughts on the judge's ruling?
He did what he thought was fair. We spent too much time on something that had no relevance to my case. All I wanted was my things.
I just believe justice prevailed. She owes lots of people money. I talked to her own sister. She owes her own sister and her mother money.
Haven't moved anybody else in?
No.
And on your own?
We'll never have another roommate.
And now we're on.